Okay, something we need to keep in mind as we watch any clip from mainstream media. Over the decades and decades, they've been operating as the propaganda and public relations arm, clearly, of the military-industrial complex and the banking elite. They don't care about you. They don't want to inform you. They want to distract, deceive, and divide you. That's what they're all about. It doesn't matter if it's faux news on the right or MSLSD and the Communist News Network on the left. And speaking of Communist News Network and MSLSD, which we're going to take a look at some clips right here, when you see a division between liberal news media and Donald Trump, like they hate Trump, and this is WWE, dog and pony, life under the big top fodder that people love to watch. It releases dopamines. It gets them to believe that they're on one team or another, the blue team or the red team, the conservative team or the liberal team, Democrats or Republicans. That's what gets people going. And the social engineers of this country and the world have tapped into this tribal psychological mind frame that each and every one of us has inside of our psychological makeup. And they know how to get in there, open the control panels, push buttons, and control people. And that's exactly what you're seeing right now. Check this out.
We're in a different environment right now with a pandemic when I think all Americans are looking to Washington for some guidance and some certainty and confidence that the government is doing everything it can do to save lives and get this country back on course.
The American people are looking to the government for guidance. MSLSD, the Communist News Network, all of them, every mainstream media outlet, every corporate media outlet wants you to look to the government for guidance. It is a completely insane notion to do that. All we have to do is look at past episodes, look at a bunch of my videos, and you can see that time and time again, mainstream media wants to steer you in the wrong, not the right direction. They want you to make the wrong, not the right choices. But check this out. I'm going to show you here. They want you to trust government and know that the plan is to keep the entire economy shut down for 18 months.
Some of that guidance and information is coming from Drs. Fauci and Birx and others. But if you could give us some guidance and maybe reassurance, these numbers are staggering. And the fact that the numbers of death in New York, it was the highest number yet.
And look at these. They're always throwing those numbers up, those scary numbers, and they're always in red. Think of the Johns Hopkins red death map, the COVID death map. And people are locked in their homes right now. And what are they doing? Probably watching TV, watching mainstream media, keeping up with the numbers, watching the numbers rise, believing everything that they say. It's going into their psychological makeup and their structure. And you see it when you go out to the grocery store. More and more people are wearing masks. More and more people are wearing gloves. They're giving into it. They're believing what mainstream media says. They believe that what mainstream media is saying, that COVID cerveza bug is out there in the streets and it's going to kill you. And if you go out there and you're not a responsible human being, then you don't care about your fellow brothers and sisters in America. That's exactly what's happening. They're trying to corner you. They've got you in a catch-22. Listen to government. Listen to mainstream media. Listen to the information we're presenting. Do exactly what we say and you'll be safe. That's the mantra over and over and over. Just trust us. Keep your businesses shut down. We know you're going broke. Don't worry. They'll write more trillion-dollar debt notes. We'll throw more money at the situation. You'll get more stimulus. Don't worry. We've got this taken care of. And the entire time, the economy is collapsing. They're situating and manipulating everything around to set up forced vaccinations, forced testing, daily testing, like St. Louis Federal Reserve President James Bullard says. They're pushing the sheep toward the collapse of the dollar and the ringing in of a cashless, digital, one world currency system. This is what's going on.
That death toll is hard to read every day. But others say that if we near the peak, that might be a good sign. Just take me through what the numbers mean to you.
Let's go with what this guy says right here.
So we have over 400,000 people who are testing positive in a situation where we know we don't have enough tests.
Highly inaccurate tests. And they keep on. Nancy Pelosi is pushing testing. Chuck Schumer is pushing testing. Congress is pushing testing. Donald Trump is pushing testing. CNN is pushing testing. Sean Hannity, Fox News, everybody's pushing testing. You got to get tested. When was the last time you got a test? to see if you had the flu? If you haven't needed a test all your life, why do you need one now? Why are they pushing these tests? Why are they pushing the Abbott Labs test kit? Why are they pushing all these pharmaceuticals and pushing all these pharmaceutical companies to the forefront and acting as pharmaceutical representatives wherever you go? You see you're talking about a major no holds barred ad campaign for pharmaceutical companies, for new drugs, hydrochloroquine, all these drugs coming out. This is going to help you. We need more ventilators. We need more 3M masks. Meanwhile, your business and hometown America is going under. But they keep McDonald's open. They keep Walmart open. They have Walgreens open. CVS is open. Lowe's is open. So you have big corporations, corporate entities are receiving favoritism from the government, while the little mom and pop shops are going out of business in droves. That's what's going on. And you'll see it in a second. They're talking about keeping this thing shut down for another 18 months. 1 month, a couple weeks has been devastating. People are going to freak out.
That probably suggests that we have maybe 10 times as many people who have been infected with COVID. If you take the people who are asymptomatic and people who haven't been able to get a test, that puts us over, 4 million, 3 million, something like 1% of the population now has been infected by this. We have 14,000 deaths.
All right, let's proceed with the fear mongering here. The deaths are going up.
And the deaths are certainly going up. They're a lagging indicator. So if, in fact, the number of cases may be reaching a peak and coming down, the deaths are going to go up for a while. And I think you heard from many people, including the president.
And people are literally sitting there watching these guys, actually believing that they are the experts, that they know what they're talking about, even though years and years and years of past segments and episodes and news articles show that time after time after time, they couldn't have been more wrong. And people are just freaking out, fearful. Oh my God, am I going to die? Are my loved ones going to die? We need to get a test and make sure that we need to get checked out. We need to just submit to the government and get swabbed in our nose and swabbed in our mouths and send those test kits off. We've got to know.
Its own Surgeon General and Dr. Fauci that, in fact, this is going to be the worst week. So we're going to have a large increase in the number of deaths.
They keep saying, get ready, get ready. It's going to be the worst week. Oh, coming up, it's going to get real bad. Trump's saying it's going to get real bad. Mainstream media, it's going to get real bad. Those death numbers, oh, they're just going to rise. Those numbers are worse than they're even indicating right now. It's going to get real bad.
But, we may be having some good news that we're slowing down, even as the numbers look bad. If that's true, it does suggest one overwhelming piece of information, which is that the physical distancing we've recommended, the wearing masks, the washing of the hands, is closing down of non-essential stores is actually having a positive effect.
Hey, look at that. The stuff that we told you to do. See, us taking away your individual rights. Making you insecure in your person's houses, papers, and effects. You following our orders in our little totalitarian regime we're setting up right here. That's bringing those numbers down. See, keep listening to us. Keep doing what we say. The deaths are going down. Just keep obeying, keep complying, and then you'll get the results that we all want, which is less and less deaths so we can go back to normalcy. Look, they are setting it up where normalcy equals you get the vaccine. Normalcy equals you take the test. If you fail the test, you don't go back to work. If you fail the test, you can't enter that store and purchase your goods. You need to take the test so we can find out if you're positive or negative. And then Bill Gates has got a good old government-funded injection to give you.
Working as it's supposed to work, and that's good.
So he's saying social distancing works, all this hand washing works, putting your asses in your houses and making sure you don't come out and arresting you if you break our curfew. It's all working. It's working.
What I worry about now is and this president, you can just see he wants to declare victory. We're going to declare victory prematurely. Mm-hmm. We're going to open things up prematurely before we've actually put in place the infrastructure we need.
These guys do not want things opened up. They do not want to return to business as usual. They want to collapse the economy. They want to eradicate the American dollar. They want to bring in the digital one world currency and see a cashless society. And when that happens, I've told you guys in video after video, all bets are off. Any freedom that you had left, any vestige of freedom that you had left will completely evaporate in the darkness of tyranny.
To really address what is almost inevitably going to be a second wave.
Second wave, they've been saying that a lot. Second wave, almost like 60 gigahertz millimeter wave. They keep talking about these waves.
After we begin easing up these various public health measures, and that I think is a serious worry.
They want you to be worried. They want you to be fearful. They want you to focus on the red numbers. They want you to constantly visit the Johns Hopkins University webpage and see that number just escalating. It's getting worse. They want you to see those red circles on those dots just broaden, get wider and wider, and more dots across the country. And oh my God, is it going to get me next? They want this fear and this worry. Because when they inject this in there, the subconscious mind is easily controlled. And the power of suggestion, that's why they call it the power of suggestion, because it's powerful. And all these suggestive thoughts going into people's minds, and people's minds start making them sick. Oh my God, I think I have COVID. I need to get tested. They're right. Oh my God, this thing's spreading. This is horrible. And then we start self-fulfilling our own prophecies and their own prophecies. Everything that they keep telling us, oh my God, it's become a reality, because they know our minds are powerful. Our minds could literally start to make us sick. But we've got the answer. The answer is Bill Gates' vaccine. Just let him inject you with that chemical, government-funded, soupy mixture of a combination of baby stem cells and heavy metals and all sorts of other things that you don't know what it's in. All these poisons, all these contaminants. You got to take the shot. You got to take the shot.
I would also say I agree with Phil. You know, we've had a lot of this attack, and if you look in the right-wing media, Breitbart, Tucker Carlson last night, there's now a trio. You know, they've gone after Tony Fauci. They've gone after Bill Gates. There you
go. There's that WWE. It works so well. Why would they go away from it? This is the Hegelian dialectic, problem, reaction, solution. They create a problem, wait for the fear-based reaction, and step in to provide the pre-planned solution. And part of that is like what Voltaire said. He said, give them bread and circuses and they shall never revolt. They give you bread and circuses because they know that's what people want. They want bread and circuses. That's why Facebook is so popular. That's why the social media platforms are so popular, because they release that dopamine when you get a like, or when you're a part of the team. You're on team red, you're on team blue, you're on team elephant, you're on team donkey, and you feel like you're a part of something. It's that tribal instinct, and they're tapped into it, and they're manipulating it, and they're exploiting it. These guys are master manipulators. They're master social engineers.
Hacked me because I said we're going to be in this for 18 months. You can see that they are sort of softening up. Here are the villains. It's not the administration's incompetence. And so I think you have this situation where they're going to try to blame other people for trying to delay an opening. You're going to have some.
They're pushing that 18 months. And here's what I project. I project that they'll probably start opening things up after April 30th. If they don't, all bets are off, and then they'll wait till the end of May or the end of June or whatever. But they're going to open it up, quote unquote, prematurely, according to them. And then they're going to fire up that 60 gigahertz wave technology. A whole lot of people are going to be sick. They're going to drop dead. They're going to say, hey, we're going to have to shut it down now. Now we're shutting it down for 18 months. That's all there is. Because, you know, we have not gotten over our corporate debt bubble. They've only written $6.2 trillion in that stimulus package, not stimulus package, but corporate bailout. Trump's asking for another $2 trillion for infrastructure. They're going to keep giving more and more and more money, but that money is not going to go, for the most part, to the American people. That money, that funny money, is going to go to the international banking cartel. It's going to strengthen them. It's going to strengthen the corporations who've been irresponsible and they're spending with those corporations. That's why so many corporate executives, those CEOs, 219 of them stepped down in the month of January alone. The biggest record of corporate CEOs stepping down at the peak, not at the low point, but at the peak of the stock market. Stepped off just in time before everything started cratering.
Good news, I believe, probably in the next few weeks, where we're probably going to begin turning the corner pretty reliably in the data. And then you're going to have people wanting to rush to open things up. And I think this very dangerous combination potentially.
Yeah, we don't need to do that. We don't need to open things up. We don't need businesses to go back to business so they can start making money. They're already underwater as it is. Let's keep pushing them down under the water. Their lives are already destroyed. Let's destroy it even more. People are already starting to drink. They're already starting to take drugs. Domestic violence is increasing. People are going to start committing suicide. More death will result from the shutdown than could ever happen from any virus ever. We've never shut down. I just want to reiterate this. We've never shut down anything in this country on such a broad scale, even when we had H1N1, swine flu, even when they had Zika, they were talking about Ebola, even with TB. TB is far more virulent, far more deadly. 10 million people in 2018, just as a reminder, got TB. And how many people died? 1.5 million. That's a 15%. That's massive. 15% mortality rate. What's the mortality rate of CV? According to Anthony Fauci and the New England Journal of Medicine, dated March 26th, 2020, 0.1% mortality rate. We didn't shut down for 15% mortality rate for TB. Way higher percentage with SARS and MERS. We didn't shut down for that, but we're shutting down for this right here. Something's rotten in Denmark. And mainstream media will not cover it. They will not question it. And they will not question 60 gigahertz millimeter wave technology.
What are the dangers, not just to our health, but to our psyche of doing that too soon, going back and having some sort of resurgence? What does that look like?
What are the dangers of going back to work and conducting business as usual so people don't go under, so people don't commit suicide, so domestic violence can decrease? What are the dangers?
Well, I think it's going to be hard to get people to take physical distancing, wearing the mask and all that stuff seriously again and to redo it. I think, a good leader, Winston Churchill, or even Ronald Reagan would have said, listen, we've got the next 18 months. Here's what to expect. And here's what
They said it again, 18 months. They want it shut down for a year and a half, guys.
Going to be doing in response to that. Okay, you can expect that we're not returning to normal pre-COVID until 18 months. We are going to be able to open up a little bit. We are going to have to keep this physical distancing in place with modifications and prepare the public for what is coming.
Yeah, prepare the public for what is coming. What exactly is coming? Oh, you just wait. They are pushing for forced testing. They're pushing for mandatory testing, mandatory vaccines. That's what they're talking about. Listen to this.
The public is not going to trust that the administration or the government and not really know what to do. And that is a very bad situation. I mean,
think about this. It's a bad situation not to trust government. What did Washington say government was? It's not eloquence. It's not reason. It's force. And like fire, it's a dangerous servant and a fearful master. This guy's saying it's dangerous to not trust government. It's dangerous to not trust a bunch of psychopaths who think they have a higher claim over your life and property than you. It's dangerous not to trust a group of people who, through the initiation of unjust force and violence, want to force you into your homes, force you out of your business, force the collapse of society. It's psychopathic.
I mean, one of the points I like to make is the solution here is not a tech-driven solution. It's human behavior. It's the old millennials old solution. We got to physically distance, wash our hands, wear a mask, stay at home. None of that's tech.
Obey, obey, obey. Stay at home, wash your hands, wear a mask, wear gloves, obey, obey.
It's all, but it does require trust, and it does require people doing it consistently. And if you don't trust the government, you don't trust the instructions you're getting, and then you see, wow, none of this is working, it could be a real problem to get people to do it for the 18 months we need to. And by the way, that 18 months, I didn't invent that. The White House's own memos have 18 months as the timeline till we get a vaccine, until we can actually fully ease up and return to real normalcy.
We can't return to real normalcy until after 18 months. In that 18 months, we're going to get a vaccine. The vaccine is going to be that component that restores normalcy. That's what they're talking about. Shut it down for a year and a half. This gives us time to social distance. This gives Americans time to comply with the government and realize that they need to trust government and wear those gloves and wear those masks and do exactly what we say. Meanwhile, Bill Gates and his cronies are creating a vaccine that we're going to force into your veins. And if you don't take it, guess what? You don't get to participate in society. You don't get to board that plane. You don't get to get on that metro. You don't get to do the things that you used to get to do because there is no normalcy without that vaccine.
Phil Rucker, 18 months doesn't sound like a number that will ever come out of Donald Trump's mouth, even if everybody, including the vice president, becomes convinced that that's how long this will take.
So that's what they're saying. I'm going to end this video. I just want to let you know they do plan on making testing mandatory. They do plan on making vaccines mandatory. They do plan on collapsing the dollar. They want businesses to go out of businesses. If you're not a corporate business, they want businesses to go out of business. They want to ring in the cashless society, the digital world reserve currency. They want to wreck this country and bring in complete socialism. They want Americans standing in bread lines, begging the government to please give them sustenance so they can live one more day. They want to give it 180 days to install that advanced technology that I can't talk about, FIVEG, the 60 gigahertz millimeter wave technology that mainstream media doesn't want to ask any questions about. Well, let me just ask you, is it dangerous? They want to bring in the rise of the socialist state. They want to bring in a new era of medical martial law. They're already doing it all across the nation. They want to restrict your movement. They want to bring you out of the rural areas into the urban smart cities, the Agenda 2030 cities. They want to install heavy-duty, intricate surveillance system through that FIVEG system, which is also military-grade weapons technology. Just look up active denial. That's exactly what they're doing, guys. Do not trust mainstream media. Do not trust government. Republican, Democrat government, it doesn't matter. What you need to trust is, what you need to seek out is the truth, period. And while we have the internet, it's possible. I can see one day very soon where they could just completely shut the internet down or at least make it extremely limited for the rest of us. Guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. I'm going to end this video. If you guys get something out of these videos, please share them with everybody you know everywhere you can on social media. And I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.